this morning. Thought let me manifest. I will get everything I want and nothing less. I'm gonna keep grinding, cause that's what I've been led to do. Accepting all the things in my life and I'm going through. Yeah, I embrace abundance in my life.
What's up, family? What's up, y'all? Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl Heavenly 2 times. And I know it's been a minute, but we back better than ever. And today we have Precious.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
And I'm going to go and let you go ahead and introduce yourself and, you know, your age and what you do and stuff.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Precious Berry. I'm a youth activist in St. Louis, Missouri. I've been doing the work in my community for about 2.5 years now. Again, it's an honor and a privilege just to be on this amazing youth platform to expand the voices of us youth and be a big spark in our community. So I appreciate you guys for having me come on and, you know,
we
expand the voice of
appreciate
the
you
youth.
for coming. Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
What made you want to be an activist?
Yeah, so it started off in 2020. So I was in my room. It was after the George Floyd. I would say it was in the midst of the George Floyd. I'm sorry. It was in June. It was like the mid-ish of George Floyd, and Juneteenth had came up. And I didn't know about Juneteenth, and I was like, if I don't know about my history, then oh no, this is the issue. Mm-hmm. So I started to educate myself on what's going on in our society. I started to educate myself on just the Atlantic slave trade. I don't know. I was just going into all of that. So I started to learn more about that, and then I was like, since I don't know, I need to let my peers be educated on the youth and what's going on and just getting them involved. So I was like, let me teach some youth. So I said, let me go to a couple of my friends. I was like, hey, did you know about this? Or hey, did you know about Juneteenth? Let's learn it together so we can, you know, I feel that us as people of color, us knowing about our history is very important in our society.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, I just started to educate the youth about, you know, what's going on. I was like, let me start an organization, Impassion Youth. I said, let me see if I can grow this platform. So I just started posting what was going on in our community, different type of resource events, different type of anything that was just going on, and I would post it on that page.
Definitely. That's dope. That's an awesome idea, actually, because I feel like, you know, there's a portion of youth that's involved, but it's not a big portion. So
yeah.
I feel like you play a really big part in that for, like, actually taking from something that you didn't know to something that you actually learned to pour out into our youth. That was awesome. I like that.
Yeah,
So I've been, you know, looking over your stuff and stuff like that, and I've seen that you were a mentor. How's that going for you?
Yes, so again, I started to get into that mentorship, actually receiving it from others. You know, I have a lot of mentors my own self. I feel that sometimes it's not okay to be okay. So it was like I took that platform towards, I was like, since I have people I can come to, people want to come to me too as well. So I was like, I just have random people, hey, Precious, can you help me with this? Or, hey, I'm going through this. Or see if I can shadow you or get involved. So I was like, hey, I just call them randomly out the day. No matter. I was like, you can call me whenever. I was like, if you're going through something, tell me about it. What can I do to help you? You know, so that's how I started to get into my mentorship and, you know, receiving it from others too as well. You know, I feel that as a person, I would rather take the stairs than the elevator. And that's just anything in life. You know, you have to work your way up to get to certain things. And, you know, if I'm doing it, I want other people to be on the side of me doing it as well.
I like that. The whole I'd rather take the steps than the elevator. Yeah. If you peep early, I took the steps. Not the elevator. Yeah, I like that. And also, I love the idea with the mentoring thing. So I've started, like, I did this after school program or whatever when I was in high school, and I was mentoring little kids, and I actually grew to love it. And I was doing little stuff like little girls, like painting little girls' nails, playing basketball with the little boys, like just talking to them and stuff like that. And it was just kind of like, that was just an awesome experience for me. So I feel you on a different level as far as like mentoring people who need people, because everybody needs somebody, you know. And I had to realize, you know what I'm saying, like, you can only help who want to be helped, or you can only do so much.
Right.
Because I know certain times you may get discouraged with doing certain stuff because you feel like you can do more when you really can't or something like that. So I definitely feel you on the whole mentoring process.
Yeah.
So as far as like speaking on women's rights, what is something that you feel like need to be said or, you know, like took in control of as of right now?
Yeah, so actually in May, this is when I really got into women's rights. The uprise of Roe versus Wade, you know, and when that whole thing had overturned. Before it even like overturned, it was like in May, I heard that it was a Planned Parenthood / pro-choice rally going on at Keener Plaza, and I was like, let me see if I can get some youth up that look just like me, skin color just like me. It don't even have to be skin color just like me, but just some young women that's involved, because I feel like in our society we tend to step back from our youth, but you know, we play a major impact. We play a major part, you know, in our society. So I was like, let me see if I can gather some girls up. And what I did, I was posting, look, hey, come down to this rally with me. Let's get involved. So what I did is I made a couple posters. I told a couple friends, and we went down to Keenan Plaza, and we went right into that group of grown-ups, you know, and I was like, us as youth, we need to be a part of this. So I started going around and I started networking. I was like, hey, I brought a group of girls with me. We want to be involved. You know, what can we do to play a big impact in whatever you guys are doing? So I didn't know. Next thing you know, Pro-Choice had inboxed me the next day. That was like, hey, we want you to see if you can help out. And it was like, we want you to be a part of our sex ed intern. And now I'm an intern with Pro-Choice Missouri. They have a sex ed fellowship. We have a sex ed fellowship, and it's 3 of us. So what we do is that we talk about, you know, safe sex. We talk about women's reproductive rights. We talk about all of those things that us young women should know, and about our bodies too as well, feminism and all. So and then next thing you know, I started to get involved with that, and then Planned Parenthood had hit me up. That's another women's organization that help out with, you know, abortion, anything that's dealing with, you know, sex ed or whatever. So I got involved with them, and luckily the day that Roe versus Wade had dropped and overturned, I was asked to speak at Planned Parenthood, and that was like a big historic day for me. So I started to speak about it, and you know, I just started to grow from there. So you know, I just everything that I try to do is to make sure that we us as youth make our voices be heard.
I feel you. I like the fact that you are very, you know what I'm saying, like outgoing, and you don't look for anyone to hand you anything. You kind of just, you know, go with it and like actually try to be a part of something that's good. And I really like that, because like it's a lot of youth that are actually into what you're into, but like some wouldn't actually take that extra step to actually, you know, put themselves out there and actually, you know what I'm saying, use their resources and connect with different people to, you know, speak and pour more information into our youth and our community, stuff like that we need to hear. So I actually like that. But I want to ask you, how does it feel to be so young and be like a youth activist?
Ooh, that's how to be so young. Ooh, that's a deep one. A wise person once told me is to be resilient, and I never really understood the definition of resilient, but you have to be bold. And I always say, if America does give a seat at the table, bring a folding chair, and that was from the words of the late great Shirley Chisholm. And us as youth, we have to bring that folding chair to events, because again, I was just speaking to someone earlier, we are not a part of these events. When you go to these big galas or these big events, anything that's related to money, you don't see young children. We talk about the children, but do we include the children at these events too, to have their voices being heard? Definitely. We don't.
Right. So and children play a major part. Believe it or not, our adults and our you know, people that's over us, right, I feel like they kind of overlook the kids, and it's really like the kids is really where it starts, or like the new generation is where, like, you know, who got all the sauce, like who can really put you on in a way. Right. So it's like, you're right, they do definitely overlook youth for sure.
Yeah, so it was like with back to your question, I just, you know, I wake up every day like these names right here: Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Shirley Chisholm. What is this? Angela Davis and Tamika Mallory. I say these names, and the reason why these names, because when you show gratitude, you show that you didn't arrive at this place or this journey by yourself. So I wear names and I wear shirts like this because this is my motivation, believe it or not. You know, it just reminds me that I had people before me that was doing this work. So, like I said, I am my ancestors' wildest dream, so I will do the work and do everything that it takes to make sure that us youth, and with this platform too as well, believe it or not, this is a big platform, believe it or not, because you have children that is actually saying that if she can do it, if Heavenly can do it, Precious can do it, if all these young people can do it, then I can do it.
Definitely.
And we need that.
Yeah.
In our schools too as well.
Yeah. We definitely need youth and younger people looking up to stuff like this. And I just feel like back when I was like your age, 17, 16, even younger than that, we still didn't have like people our age that was actually into stuff like that to pour this type of information back into the community. So I just feel like that's really, it's big, and to be so young, it's kind of like, I know it's times where it probably can get overwhelming, work can get hectic, like I already know how it is, but definitely a good idea and a great you know, a great way of showing, you know, you actually care about women's rights, kids in need, or people that just need an ear to listen. That's definitely very important.
And just also, it just made me think that we need to bring more awareness.
Definitely. Awareness
is the key to anything. You know, we have these things out here, but are we bringing awareness to them? Are we using our platforms that we should use them? You know, we have a lot of children that are so underlooked, that we have, like, in these underlooked school districts, we have amazing students in all like districts, but do we give them the proper resources that they need?
That's what I was just telling you. Like I was just saying, it's like certain schools. Like I'm not gonna say no names because I don't want to step on nobody's toes. But there are certain schools that I feel like don't give kids enough opportunities, and these opportunities, like say for instance, like I'm in an internship with Dream Builders, and I went through it from my high school or whatever, and it's like they'll go around to different schools, and I just feel like certain schools don't get that, and I feel like it start within, you know, like principals, all of that. I feel like they should have those type of resources, you know, whether or not, because it's kind of, you know, if somebody didn't know any better, like us, like we already know, they'll probably feel like, you know, like, are they worth it enough, or are they not doing something right to get these type of opportunities? So definitely we do need all types of awarenesses, different opportunities throughout the schools, all type of stuff. Even if it's just somebody, like guest speakers coming in, like, and talking, just pouring in information to make them, to draw the youth to want to actually do certain stuff or different stuff that'll actually help everybody in a way. So,
and it start with us people of color. Like I tell people, this system is not designed for us people of color. So we have to do the best that we can do. And right now in life, we need each other more than anything. I tell people, if we bring back love and peace in our democracy, and we bring back our history, us as people, we were educated on our history, we would live so much differently to this day. We would respect each other more. We would understand each other more. It just would have been a whole
I don't even feel like we have like a lot of family reunions anymore. Like I don't even know. Like I grew up on that type of stuff, like family reunions every year. Like now, I don't remember the last time I've been to a family reunion and stuff like that. And like, I'm glad you actually touched on the fact that us people of color don't really have that type of opportunities, and like we really honestly are like designed, or people look at us to, you know, fail. And then I just only wanted to touch on that because I watched the new movie, the little Orphan Kill movie that just came out yesterday. It's a scary movie or whatever. So I went to go see it or whatever, and one of the guys on that movie said something that stuck with me, and he said something that was like, he was talking to either, I don't remember if they were Caucasian or were they black. I'm pretty sure they were Caucasian or black, I don't know, or mixed. And he said something like, you know, like, I'm not gonna get caught because people like me actually matter in this country. and it made me feel some type of way, and I kind of just didn't like the movie no more because it's like I don't like stuff like that.
That's
and it's
privilege.
Just the fact that they know they have a higher power, or what I'm saying, like stuff kind of always have worked in their favor, which is nothing against them. Definitely nothing against them. I accept everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt some type of way about that, and it just goes to show, like, from you saying we really don't have a lot of those privileges, and from him saying, like, people like me matter, it was just kind of like, yeah. And a lot of people like our color, that's of our color, would take that and get discouraged if they didn't know any better. Some people probably look way past it, like, because for me, I instantly called it. I'm like, yeah, I don't like this movie no more. Like, it was a wrap after that. It was done after that.
I totally understand you. Privilege, ooh, that's a whole nother topic. Like, white supremacists and supremacy at that. Like, a lot that's going on right now.
Definitely.
In our curriculums at school, that's white. They're trying to whitewash us. You know, we need more African American teachings. We need, like, I was telling somebody, like, North Technical High School, we have a lot of technical careers there, but can we put those in our regular district?
Right.
Can we put those in these public schools that are underlooked? And I'm not even talking about St. Louis City public schools. I'm talking about all public schools. Like, we need cosmetology, we need medical, and they say, oh, we don't have the teachers. We can put teachers there.
There's so many people.
We have the money to do that.
Cosmetology that just already knows from, like, building up their clientele in the house. Like, never really having a office space nor a shop space, none of that. But, it's a bunch of that. I definitely think that it's a good idea that we should, like, all come together and, like, look into, because it's a bunch of talented people out here and youth at that. It's a whole bunch of kids and children that actually know how to do certain stuff. So I want to ask you, mentoring kids or youth, all over, how does that make you feel as a person? Like, do you have any, like, most favorites about, like, what you do as far as, like, mentoring? Like, what's your favorite part about it?
Ooh, I used to be like, this is when I was, I really wasn't understanding why people was coming to me. I was like, why do these people keep coming to me? I was like, what am I doing something good? Am I, helping people out? Like, I didn't understood why, but then one day I was like, I'm happy that this person came to me because I was on their mind.
Definitely.
And you never know what a person may be going through, and you may be their only outlet. You never know. Like, we were just talking earlier, like, you never know what a person is going through. Until that person call you and tell you, you just be like, whoa. Like, that's why I'm so open. Like, call me any time of the day. Like, if I'm in a meeting or if I'm doing this, I will definitely hit you right back up, because you just never know, because I was that type of person to reach out and call someone. So I always tell people, treat people how you want to be treated, because you was at that point or you was at that stage in life too as well.
Right. Definitely makes sense. Definitely. I feel like you do an awesome job as far as, like, mentoring, because my favorite part, like, about when I did a little bit about mentoring and being around kids so much, it was kind of like the different personalities I got to see. And, like, it was weird because I actually see, like, when people say, you can see potential in somebody, that's something that I honestly seen. And for them to be so young, it was kind of weird for me, because I'm like, wow. I wonder if I was young, when I was young, did people look at me like this? Right. But it's kind of with the youth, it's really kind of in them. Like, you never know what they're going to say next. You never know what they're going to do next. But it's like, they just got so much potential, and they just so lit being so young. So it's kind of like, that was my favorite part about mentoring, being around kids as much. And another big thing for me, I got to be a kid again. Like, I love kind of being a kid again with kids. They make you feel younger. Like, they always, come play with me or come do this. But I actually love it, though. So I just feel like,
we need more of us to do that, because I feel like in today's world, in this generation, we tend on each other more than adults, because we understand each other.
Yeah, definitely. So. Definitely. That's kind of why, I'm saying, this podcast is so much for the youth, because it's so much more easier to open up, get what get out what you got to get out, what I'm saying, vent, whatever you have to do. It's like, this was this for. So do you ever get, like, discouraged with anything? as far as like being a young youth activist and stuff?
Yeah, I don't want to say discouraged, but you know, I sometimes be like, Precious, you're the only kid at this event, but I'm like, I'm trying to do the work. I just want my voice to be heard so other people can see. Like, sometimes I feel like when I'm at these events, I can be that person, be like, oh, if Precious then we know we got more youth out here to do the work. So, you know, sometimes I have people saying, why are you the only kid at this event? We need to have more children. I'm like, we need more children. That's the reason why I try to show up to these events and be like, oh, if this child is here, we need to have some more children here so she don't feel alone, or this other individual may not feel alone, you know.
Definitely.
We can get us a table of 6. We have all these tables at these big events, but you don't see not one table that's full with at least like just youth, adolescents, at us to understand. But that's actually in the community doing the work for you and your foundation or your nonprofit organization.
Definitely.
You know, so back to that feeling discouraged part, you know, sometimes you can feel alone, you know, doing the work. Like, in my community, like, you don't see a lot of people, like, that look just like me, my skin color, anything that's trying to, that's actively involved. But one thing that I tell myself, I say I stand with 10,000 others. You know, just because you may see me doing it, don't mean nobody else out there doing it. Oh, trust me, there are a lot of plenty other youth out there that's doing it. They're just not in my circle. So what you have to do is to expand your platform.
Right.
You have to make your voice be heard so that youth can feel comfortable. Or we actually have a lot of youth that is not broken out of their shell, that wants to do the work but scared to do it because they probably are not bold enough to do it. So
Definitely.
Just got to be bold and resilient.
Yeah. I kind of like how you said you stand, you know, alone or whatever. So there's this like thing where sometimes I could be in a room full of people and I still feel alone. But like that's not to... I use it in a way not to just like saying I'm alone in this stuff, but it's like it motivates me in a way. Like I can be in a room full of people and I can still be by myself, meaning I can still be myself. I can still be, you know what I'm saying, still get my voice to be heard or to be seen. Like nobody else around me, they matter, but they don't matter. Like no matter what they say, what they think. So I kind of say that to myself and I use it in a good way. Because usually people use that like if they feel alone with a whole bunch of people, that's kind of bad. But I use it in a good way just because like it just motivates me and it just amps me up to still want to keep going further and keep doing what I'm doing. So I kind of use that or whatever.
Yeah, one thing that I want to say is that boundaries will always be a lifelong practice.
Definitely.
And that's just even in being involved. Sometimes, like how you said earlier, that it could like stress you out a little bit because, you know, you out here, you doing the work and, you know, you could just say just being out involved in the community. It could be to volunteering a lot, you know. Yeah. You don't even have to be, you know, getting paid or being on this payroll. You know, if you're really dedicated, you would do a lot of volunteership, and that's how I started off, and just volunteering. But sometimes, like I said, resilience, I just learned that word. Like when I say I just learned it, I just understood it because I went through being resilient.
Definitely.
And what was I finna say? It's okay to say no. And that's what I'm learning right now. That's my big thing, and I'm comfortable with saying that because a lot of people need to hear things like that. Saying no, it's okay to not be okay sometimes, and definitely you are your number one priority. Believe it or not, you have to take care of you before you take care of others. Some people say, oh, that's saying it's not true. It really is true because your actions will start to prove it in your work.
For sure. So before you wrap this up, I kind of want to ask you, so I know it's your senior year, so congrats to that. Big senior. So do you feel like, since this is something you do outside of school, right? So is your plan to pour all of this? I will hope. I want you to. I feel like you would get even further than where you are now because you going a long way. You up there. I ain't gonna lie to you. You up there. Definitely up there. So do you feel like you gonna pour this type of information into the, you know, women at school to try and, you know, persuade them to get into it just in case? Because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of others that just like you and probably are scared to do that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of make them comfortable. And even if it's just not women, because I know you are a mentor. Yeah. Men, too. Like, dudes, too. I know dudes are real, like, they don't want to speak. They have this whole pride thing. Dudes don't really open up. But, so you think you're going to pour all this type of information and stuff that you've been doing into, like, your school community and all the people at school?
Yeah, so this is my last year. When I go to college or whatever college I go to, I want this to be very historic for me, my senior year. And when I say historic, I want it to be like no other school year that I've been involved in. I know this may sound a lot, but I want to do the work because I want to give this information back to my school district. Because I tell people, St. Louis is worth saving, such as my school district.
Definitely.
And breaking those stigmas and stereotypes on how it's seen. Because, like, again, we have bright students, but we need to give them that resources and opportunities and everything that they need.
Make them feel like they're, right. Because some people have, low self-esteem and they feel like they can't do it. But the more youth, even if youth is doing it, even if it's a grown person or someone older, you know what I'm saying?
Of
but
course.
Giving them that type of, making them comfortable to want to come out and say, like, okay, I can do it. I can do this. They just need a bunch of more opportunities. So I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, and just using, like, the student council. If I hear something, I'm going to make sure I get it back to my school. So I'll be like, hey, this is going on. What can we do? And how can we benefit from this? And how can we help children out in this way? Even I want to start something to where it's not even just in my school districts, but, being a big brother, big sister to people in elementary school or middle school, going to like mentor them, or even at the elementary schools, we can start from kindergarten, first grade. Go read a book to them, show them that they actually got people that really care about them, because all of them don't have brothers and sisters.
They really don't.
They don't, or they don't. Not just saying all, but don't have. We like parent engagement too in our society. Maybe we can give them some, advice, or just be there for them at that. So, we can't be a parent to them, but we can, just they can look up to us, or, if they need to talk to someone, they can, like, call on us. So just building that platform, too, as well.
Definitely. I definitely agree. And I just want to personally thank you for coming on the show. You know what I'm saying? You really, spilled some sauce. Even had me thinking, so I appreciate it. Especially as a 17-year-old, I think you are awesome. I think you should continue to do, what you do as far as youth, mentoring, all of that, pouring all this information back into the community. Keep going, because you're there. Definitely there. Especially to be a 17-year-old, like I said the first time. But I'm going to go ahead and let you drop all your social medias, because we want to make sure everybody, following you, so we can get more people involved. We can get your Instagram,
Yeah, of course. So, I'll start with my Twitter. A lot of people don't use Twitter, but I would definitely recommend for you future people that's want to be an advocate and be an activist. My Twitter is Precious, PRECIOUS B_STL. My my Facebook is Precious Berry, PRECIOUS BARRY, and my Instagram is Precious Berry, PRECIOUS BARRYSTL.
Y'all heard her. Make sure y'all go tap into all of her social sites. We want to make sure we get everybody locked in. That is the goal. And follow me on Instagram at Heavenly2Times. And please don't forget the podcast page at No Adults Allowed.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. We out, family.
I embrace abundance in my life.